What are you here to do? Like, what is your purpose here on earth? There are so many different answers to that question, and all of them are valid. But what if I told you that we also have a shared purpose here? Like, we are here on earth for a particular reason that we are all collaborating on. We're working on it together. We have a shared goal. And as much as whatever answer you gave at the beginning is valid, this other reason is just as important. And it's kind of the reason that we've forgot about. We are here for two main reasons. We're here to learn, and we're here to be in love. And I don't mean be in love in like the romantic sense. I mean to embody love. Because that's who we really are. In a sense, we're here to remember who we are and to live in that truth. And it's interesting that we forget that, because that forgetting is actually a crucial part to learning this lesson. You know, we learn things when we struggle. We learn things when we are challenged and when we're surprised. Surprise is an important part of learning. And surprise only happens when we don't know something, when something happens that's unexpected. And since we're here to learn who we are, we're love, by the way. And since we're here to live in love and learn how to live in love, our forgetting of that truth when we are born here and start to grow up here is critical. But I'm here to remind you of that truth, because the times we're living in feel like we're moving away from that truth in a lot of ways. And me telling you isn't meant to cement that for good, but it's meant to be a catalyst to get you to rethink your purpose and to integrate and think bigger about why you're really here. Because you have a way bigger purpose than you think, a way bigger purpose than you realize. Like, we are the universe getting to know itself. Like, that's why we're here. We're all these little fragments of the universe that have been scattered across the surface of the earth. And we're all in these different conditions. You know, some of us live in huge families that are all living together, multi-generational, households. Some of us are totally on our own. Maybe we lost our family, or, for whatever reason, we're not connected to them. Some of us, this is silly, but some of us live in really cold places. Some of us live in really hot places. We are all fragments of the universe that have been scattered. And we have all these different experiences for a reason. We're bringing that information back to the whole so that we can know ourselves even better. And by knowing ourselves better, we can love ourselves even better. Have you ever noticed that it can be really hard to love? Like, it can be really hard to love ourselves. And I'm sure there are plenty of people we can all think of who it's like, oof, I don't know if I like that person. I don't know if I could say I love that person. Like, love is such a beautiful and powerful concept and thing, but it can be really elusive. And as I was saying earlier, challenge is critical to learning. And the fact that it's challenging to love, challenging to truly love ourselves, is so important, because we're here to learn how to do that. And through that challenge, every day it's hard to love yourself. Every day, every moment that it's hard to love someone else fully and truly, you're flexing your muscles. And when we come across these moments when it's hard to love ourselves. It's so important to notice that and use that as an opportunity to practice love. It can feel counterintuitive, but every moment we experience, even moments when we're falling short of this purpose to live in love, when we're falling short of loving ourselves fully, that's an opportunity to love. I think one of the most interesting parts about emotion is that often when we're having a difficult emotion, when we're feeling angry or sad, envy, we tend to pile on and judge ourselves and start feeling judgment, start feeling criticism, start feeling even worse. We might even spiral into shame. And the beautiful thing about practicing loving ourselves is that even these moments when we're feeling angry, even if we have that second level of criticism, every moment is an opportunity to come back to that truth, to come back to love, because that's what we're here to do. And the beautiful thing is that those purposes, loving and learning, there are no limits on who can access that. You know, you don't have to go to the right school to learn and to love. You don't have to have the right job. You don't have to have the right partner or a partner at all. You just have to wake up and be you. Like, you can't do it wrong. I think that's one of the most amazing things about our true purpose, is that even though we oftentimes forget this purpose, even though we're often not in touch with this purpose, we're still working towards it. Like, even when we're not thinking about it actively. But it's even more powerful once we have this flicker of remembering, because then we can be intentional. Then we can make the choice in each moment to practice loving ourselves, in each moment to practice loving others. Because the interesting thing about others, they're mirrors. You know, on the back end, we're the universe. So we're all these fragments of the universe scattered. And that means that every person you look at, every tree, every bug, every microorganism that you can't even see is a mirror. Like, we are all each other. We are all opportunities to love, opportunities to be our true selves. The amazing thing about the universe is that not only does it like us, but it loves us unconditionally. I mean, think about the fact that anytime you make a mistake, you know, you fall short, maybe you say something hurtful or that you regret saying, you keep on breathing. You know, that has never killed anyone. It's because we're held. It's because we're held in love. And that love is unconditional. Like, that is who we really are. And so our purpose here is to live in that. And I want to go back to whatever you said at the beginning, because what I'm saying is everything is a partial truth. Like, what I just said about our universal purpose, you know, learning and love, that is true. And we are all different flavors of the universe. You know, as I said, we're scattered across the earth under all these different conditions. And so as much as we are one thing, one being, the same thing, we are simultaneously different. We're not necessarily separate, we are interconnected, but we are different flavors, we're different aspects of the universe. And so whatever answer you gave at the beginning, what gets you out of bed, what is your purpose? If you didn't give an answer, that's okay too. But that is also real and true. And especially, I think this goes for everyone, but especially those of you who didn't have an answer, which is not only okay, but also kind of, you're in a very like free and open spot in some ways. I do want to talk a little bit about what that individual purpose is and how to access it. Because sometimes we can think we know what that is, but if we're feeling like life is meaningless, or if we're feeling drained at the end of the day, that might be a sign that there's actually a misalignment in the choices we're making and what's really true about our kind of unique perspective, about our unique flavor. This is where intuition comes in. And our intuition, which is it doesn't live in our heads. Our intuition is that sort of inexplicable gut feeling you get when you just know that a situation just doesn't feel right for you, or you just know that you really just desire connecting with this part of yourself or learning this new skill. Think about how, children when they're growing up, sometimes very young children, they're just like, I know when I grow up, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a teacher, or, it may not be like that specific job is the thing for that child, but there's something about that role often that child's intuition is getting in touch with, that like that's the way to align. So maybe the child who wants to be an astronaut is, a very open explorer, someone who wants to ask big questions and go to the limit of their understanding and break through that. And maybe that's what, an astronaut represents to them. Or, being a teacher, connecting with others and learning to the degree that they can then explain something simply to someone new. That's what being a teacher could represent. So, our intuition, that's that gut sense. It transcends logic. It's a felt sense. Our intuition holds the key to our individual purpose. And there are ways to tap in to our intuition. And it's funny, what comes to mind when I think about tapping into intuition is this quote that I heard when I was doing a soul cycle class, funny enough, a couple of years ago. The soul cycle instructor said, "You're not confused. It's just too loud where you are." Like, that really stuck with me because it captures a really profound and simple but powerful truth, which is that your inner wisdom lives in the silence. Your intuition is not out there. It's not in what other people say is right for you. It's not in what, your, parents think is best for you, or what, the current trends say is the job you should have or the life you should live. You know what's best for you, and that inner wisdom lives in the quiet moments when you're able to turn down the outside noise and calm your nervous system, take a breath, and really feel what's going on inside. Feel what makes your heart sing and what makes you contract and pull away. And no matter what that looks like, no matter if it's a life that'll make sense to anyone else, that is your unique purpose. That is your truth. And it is the biggest gift you can give to yourself, and it's also, in some sense, your responsibility to be in touch with that. Because your purpose, as much as it is our shared purpose, are living in love, are learning, and importantly, learning how to live in love. That is our shared purpose. But we're also these fragments of the universe supporting the universe in getting to know itself, which means that we really need to be in alignment with our own unique purpose, because that's the information that only we can bring back to the universe. And so even if you're not feeling in alignment with that right now, I do want to end on an encouraging note, which is that even the process of getting in touch with your intuition, even the process of aligning and then being in alignment, all of that is bringing valuable information. All of that learning, only you can do. So you're already on track. Like you cannot do this wrong. No matter how many times you forget, no matter how many times you get swept up in the outside noise, you can't do it wrong. You know, even if it takes you 10 years to cycle back and realize, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is not in alignment. That's okay. That's okay. You know, my hope is that this message is something that can spark your intention and, you know, serve as an occasional flicker of a reminder that you have your own unique purpose for being here. And there's also a bigger purpose that we're all working together on. And no matter what you do, no matter how things go, no matter if you're off track, whatever, you are enough and you are bringing a valuable perspective. You are contributing just valuable learning, and you are loving in a way that only you can. Like, it takes all types. It takes every single one of us. So thanks for doing your part.